Through the first 5 weeks of the 2022 season, Vikings receiver Justin Jefferson leads the league in receiving yards, currently at 547, 20 ahead of last year's top dog Cooper Kupp. Fittingly enough, ever since the arrival of first-year head coach Kevin O'Connell, it was thought that not only would Jefferson see an expansion in output, but that he would also take on the Cooper Kupp role, the Triple Crown receiver that he was for the Super Bowl winning LA Rams. For that, the Triple Crown that is, Jefferson's going to have some catching up to do. In receptions, he's 9 behind Cooper Kupp for that number 1 spot. In touchdowns, he's going to have to string off a few "are you kidding me" games beyond what he already does now. 2 touchdowns on the year for Jefferson, 5 behind Travis Kelce, who got 4 alone last night versus the Raiders. So I would say Triple Crown likely not happening, but the goal of 2K is still very much possible. On pace for 1,860 yards, just needs to muster up an extra 140 within the remaining 12 games. You've got the Bears again in week 18. That is to say, unless you have a seed locked up at that point, why even bother? But if not, Chicago week 18, you've got Detroit a second time, Arizona, Washington. The point is that Jefferson has been nothing short of spectacular. Only his 3rd year out of LSU, already the best receiver in the league, has yet to tap into his prime. His route running is superb. He clears so much space of separation between him and the nearest defender when he makes his cuts, the primary factor for why the Vikings have the 8th best passing offense. My outlook for Jefferson at season's end: first team All-Pro, 2,000 yards, Offensive Player of the Year. Now, a little caveat, it doesn't have to end there. If Kirk Cousins could just channel his 2021 form for the rest of this season, where he's completing 66% of his passes, nearly a 5-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio. Right now, Jefferson is on pace for just 7 touchdowns, but with an elevated level of play by Kirk Cousins, he's looking at double-digit scores, could very well be top 3 in MVP voting. He's not going to win it. It's Josh Allen's to lose, but Jefferson would at least be in the conversation. Now, switching gears here, big picture for the NFC. Vikings are the 2 seed. Of the top 7, if we want to power rank them, I would for sure put Minnesota ahead of Green Bay and Tampa. Vikings will win the NFC North Division. Aaron Rodgers, he looks like he's over it. The Packers, if they realize they're better off putting their eggs in the run game basket that is Aaron Jones, with Aaron Rodgers complementing the run game, they'd probably be better off, but that's not my problem. Vikings clear them. Tampa, the Bucks, they're just off. Escaped with a fraudulent victory over Atlanta after a BS roughing the passer penalty called on Grady Jarrett. That was on Tampa's final possession. Should have been Falcons' ball. Instead, the Bucks keep it, run the clock out, and get the win. Minnesota's got their problems, sure, but in my opinion, not worse off than the Packers and the Bucks are right now. Eagles, clearly over the Vikings. They embarrassed us in week 2. Undefeated, 5-0. But I feel like teams that typically get off to a hot start like this to start the year, at some point there's going to be a hard fall. Regardless, Eagles over Vikings right now. I'll give the Vikings a slight edge over the Giants. Same 4-1 record and a similar situation in that they got to show that they can handle business against a tough opponent. Now, I'm going to use Minnesota's offense as the tiebreaker ahead of New York. As for San Francisco and Dallas for that matter, they're deadlocked with the Vikings, in my opinion. The Niners, they have the number 1 ranked defense. Cowboys, 7th rank. The Eagles, their 4th ranked defense, blew us out the building at the link. So I'm going to say for now, TBD. Eagles first, Vikings, Cowboys, Niners, 2A through C, Giants 5th, Tampa 6th, Green Bay 7th. Subject to change as the season goes on. Comments time. David Goulart, we will see how good they are against Buffalo and Dallas, but yes, good to see the improvement. Now work on the defense. Absolutely. If the Vikings can make it a competitive game against the Bills, even in a loss, and if you're able to beat the Cowboys, then to me, that puts them as the clear-cut number 2 in the NFC. Not that power rankings matter, but I think that puts them clear-cut number 2 in the NFC, even ahead of San Francisco. Next comment by Hugh Yang. If O-line can protect Kirky, I want to see him throw more to the end zone. Yeah, I feel like Kirk, his regression as a player so far this year, nowhere close to his previous 2021 or 2020 form. his regression as a quarterback is the primary reason why the Vikings are only scoring 23 points a game. But if he can go back to that old Kirk where he's at his best with this offensive line, the best he's ever seen in Minnesota, with this head coach, this offense would be unstoppable. They would score 30 points a game at least. If they can do that, or if the offense remains the same as it is right now and the defense improves just a little bit, they can compete with anybody in the National Football League. Last comment by Pawn Stars. I love how Randy always backtracks. Now he loves Bradbury. When did I backtrack? Point out exactly. In fact, go back to yesterday's video and put in the comments section a timestamp to where I apparently backtracked on Garrett Bradbury. And how do I love Bradbury? I even said on this YouTube channel that, yeah, he's playing well, but I wouldn't sign him to a contract extension after the season's over with because I don't trust it. But this whole idea that, what, am I supposed to have just one stance no matter what? Garrett Bradbury, the first 3 years out of NC State, played like some butt ass. And now he's playing well. Both things can be true. What's the problem?